Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my very first podcast. My name is Sandra Gonzalez, and I am a retired Marine officer turned life coach speaker. And I had the honor, the distinction of serving 20 years of honorable service as a U.S. Marine. Throughout my 20 years of honorable service, I realized that it's important. It's crucial. It's necessary to pull the trigger. Now, as an entrepreneur, as a coach and speaker, I help high caliber women entrepreneurs kick self-doubt to the curb. I help them cultivate sexy confidence so they can authentically step into any room and stand out as a leader. Now, my 20 years in the Marine Corps, as a Marine, I realized and experienced so much. But the one thing that stood out for me was that women think, operate, and act differently than men with some things. Now, I realized that women, we tend to overthink. Women, we tend to overanalyze. And I'll give you a brief example of what I experienced that enabled me to do this podcast, that enabled me to move forward and start my business as an entrepreneur. And that's the need for you to pull the trigger, for you to take action. Now, when I was in the Marine Corps, I had the distinction and the honor of being a Marine Corps drill instructor. Throughout those 3 years that I trained female recruits for the rigors of combat, I realized that it was a little bit more different to train a female recruit than it was to train a male recruit. Now, I'll give you an example of that, right? So as a drill instructor, I would give this recruit a direct order. I would tell her, listen, recruit, when I give you ready move, you're going to take that M16A2 service rifle, you're going to shoot it downrange. Do you understand that? And she would respond with, ma'am, yes, ma'am. So she would grab the weapon and she would pause. And as a drill instructor, we're all about execution. We're about pulling the trigger. So this woman recruit would pause and look at me and ask me, ma'am, should I shoot this weapon in the prone position? Should I shoot this weapon in the kneeling position? Or should I shoot this weapon in the standing position? And of course, as a Marine Corps drill instructor, we have to execute. We have to make decisions. We have to pull the trigger. Sometimes when you're faced with paralyzing fear or chaos, there is no time to ask questions. You just need to take action. You just need to pull the trigger. Now, I share this with you because if I were to give a male recruit or a male Marine that same direct order, he would just take off. He wouldn't even bother asking. He would take off and execute immediately. So that's one of the many experiences I realized that women, we just overthink, we overanalyze, and this is applicable to you as a woman entrepreneur because you're going to face your fears. You're going to face difficulties in life and or business, right? And it's important for you to pull the trigger without having all the answers, without knowing what's happening next. Now, I share this with you because you, at one point in your life, especially in your business, you're going to procrastinate. And most people, it's okay. It's a human thing to do. We tend to procrastinate. But if you're this high caliber woman entrepreneur, you have an insatiable appetite for growth. You want more out of life. And this is why you're here. This is why you're watching this podcast, because you're salivating at the mouth, because you're hungry for more. You want to experience growth. And I applaud you for your efforts. So you're going to want to stay tuned to this podcast. And those are forthcoming because in this podcast, pull the trigger. I'm going to be sharing with you other amazing high caliber women and men that have done just that. They realized, I got to pull the trigger, even though I'm afraid. I got to pull the trigger, even though I'm procrastinating. I got to pull the trigger, even though I don't know what tomorrow may bring. So there comes a point, especially if you, like I said, are this high caliber woman entrepreneur. You're the founder. You're the CEO of your company. You have this sphere of influence around you. They're waiting for you to step up. But somewhere along the lines, you get stuck, right? And again, this podcast is intended to help you, to direct you, to motivate you. Now, with these upcoming episodes, I'm so excited because the high caliber women entrepreneurs that I'm going to share with you have shaped my life, have shaped my business. They've given me so much value that I can't wait to share them with you. They're going to be a wealth of information. They're going to be, this resourceful guide, so to speak, so you can come back here and listen as often as you need, so you can stay motivated, so you can spark momentum, so you can keep going. Because I'm going to tell you right now, ladies, especially in this, being an entrepreneur, it's like combat without the bullets. I know it's not easy. I know it's tough, but you have to keep going. Now, this podcast is intended to do just that, to not allow you to give up, to encourage you, to educate you, to empower you, to enlighten you, and yes, to entertain you as well, because it's supposed to be fun. And one of the things I do as a high caliber woman entrepreneur, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to share with you, and I hope you're listening. One of the most important things you can do, ladies and gents, is give me your undivided attention. When you give me your undivided attention, it equates to retention. And now you can absorb this information. Now, because you have this information, which what I'm giving you is really ammunition, because you're going to need this ammunition to pull the trigger. But once you have this information and you put it into practice, now you're going to be like, wow, I'm experiencing growth. Wow, I'm facing my fears. Wow, I'm actually happy doing what I love to do, what I first intended to do, which was we're here as a servant leader. So one of the things that I'd like to share with you is that every day you have to raise your frequency, ladies. You have to be responsible for how you operate, right? Because people need to see you. They need to see your success. They need to see you step up as a leader that you are. This is what's needed right now in this moment, is your leadership. So a lot of the things that are going to be shared in this podcast enable you to develop these leadership skills, right? Because you're running the show. And I personally, from the bottom of my heart, want you to run an efficient organization. I want you to run your business in a very confident way. Because when you're confident, and this is what I'm going to share with you, this is like the thing that I love to share with you, what I'm passionate about is helping you cultivate this sexy confidence. Because when you're confident, it shows. I know you've seen it, right? A woman that steps into any room and she stands out as a leader. I know you've seen this before. Now, this is you. Once you take ownership for who you are and what you stand for, people are going to be attracted to you in the right way. Opportunities are going to come. You're going to experience growth. And this is exactly where you want to be. But the most important thing, like I said before, is to have fun, ladies. And I think that's one of the things that we have forgotten is that we forget to have fun because we get overwhelmed with so much. We tend to be perfectionists. I know you. You're this high caliber woman who wants more, but you tend to be a perfectionist. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Sandra, perfectionism, this is so good because it has like a positive connotation. Yes and no. I would say it's actually a cop-out. And I'm going to share why with you. Because perfectionism actually holds us back because you're trying to do everything. You are the CEO. You are the leader of your business. Therefore, you need to start delegating authority. You need to start delegating those tasks so you can focus on the things of value. You need to focus on the vital few things that are going to give you what you're looking for, right? You need to focus on the 20% that's going to give you back the 80% that you seek. Now, most people, and you're not most people, you're here. And if you're still listening, again, this is wonderful. Most people get so sidetracked. They don't know how to silence distraction. But you're not most people. Again, you're salivating at the mouth. I can feel it. I can see it. I can sense it because you want more. And I'm going to bring it to you here with strategies, tips, resources, tools, secrets from all all walks of life, women that I've met all over the world that are going to come to this podcast and share this with you. How valuable is that? Why? Because in my heart, I know you have a calling. And when you listen to what's calling at you, not what is clawing at you, that makes all the difference in the world. I'm gonna say that again. When you listen to what is calling at you, not what is clawing at you, it makes all the difference in the world. So this is my goal. One of many is to help you listen to this calling, to face your fears, to pull the trigger. Now, a little story about me, my name is, again, Sandra Gonzalez. I'm actually Mexican American. I was born in Los Angeles, California. I'm actually the eldest of 3 siblings. And I learned to pull the trigger at a very young age. It was actually my father and mother who inculcated these values, these morals, these principles in life. But especially my father. You see, he always wanted to be in the military. He was a great patriot. He loved this country. He came to this country, right, as an immigrant because he had an insatiable appetite for growth. He wanted more for himself and his family. And knowing that, he gave it his absolute best shot, right? But as life would take him on a great American adventure, my parents had the honor of becoming American citizens. And they had me. But the one thing I want to share was that, my father at a very young age told me and shared with me throughout the years that it's important for me to always pull the trigger, even when it came to, personal things that I experienced, I would say up to this very day. And my father, was actually my hero. And he passed away last year. But I want to talk about my father because what he inculcated in me was passion. What he inculcated in me was respect, was standing up for yourself, was giving it your best shot every day, was being positive, was loving and respecting other human beings. So what have your parents taught you? Because these values that are embedded in our hearts, in our soul. It's something you must continue. It's something you must share with others, right? Like with my father, like what my father shared with me. Now, last year, my father, I actually found him, my mother and I found him unconscious. And it's something you don't expect, especially after having gone through a difficult divorce. I realized I could rely on my dad. I had the best man who had given me that example, that best example of masculine quality, right? That was my dad. So because I had my pops, I realized I don't need anything else. I'm financially okay. I have the man who loves and supports me. I'm going to be okay. And one of the many things he taught me, right, was this ability to pull the trigger, even though I might be afraid. And when I found my dad unconscious last year, to be honest, I wasn't scared. And I think this is where the Marine in me kicks in. I just had something to do. I had to make sure dad was taken care of. So between mom and I, we picked up this 240-pound van, stuck him in the car, and I actually drove him to the emergency room. But I share that with you because life is unpredictable, babe. You just have to give it your best shot. You have to hope for the best. And in that moment, what I didn't know was that my father's oxygenation was at 33%. He was actually dying on us, but I didn't think about that. I was thinking, I got to get my dad to the emergency room. He is going to be okay. And I think it's this level of optimism that has enabled me to endure not only the 20 years in the Marine Corps, but has also enabled me to keep going and endure these challenges that entrepreneurship brings, right? Because it's not easy. There's been so many, times where I just want to give up because failure is, I would say, 80% of the equation. You have to learn how to fail forward. But I want to keep you engaged. I want to keep you enthusiastic, energized, to keep going, babe, because life and business are messy, right? They're messy. But I think it's in that messiness that we, in this messy thing we call life, in this messy thing that we call business, that it's the onus is on us. It's our responsibility to go in and extract the meaning that we want to experience. It's our responsibility to shift our perspective and go, I lost my dad. But you know what? At least I had a dad who gave me so much, who gave me these masculine qualities to endure 20 years in the Marine Corps and never give up. I had a father who was there every step of the way. He never gave up, and as a matter of fact, his funeral was on my parents' anniversary, which he kept his word. He kept his honor when he said, till death do us part. So I just share that story with you about how, my hero, the man in my life, enabled me to pull the trigger, and I continue to do so now. So who's the one person that enables you, that encourages you to pull the trigger? Because when we think about that person, that re-energizes us. It reinvigorates our why, our passion, the why we need to keep moving forward, the why we need to succeed. And I'm telling you, ladies, one of the most important things I've learned a great deal, but the most important thing that I've learned is that we need to pull the trigger and never give up on our dreams, because it's supposed to be messy. The ability to get comfortable with the uncomfortable is a game changer. I'm going to say that again, and I hope you're listening. The ability to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, that's a game changer, babe. And that's one of the many things I realized when I was in the Marine Corps, right? Like my first duty station, I was surrounded by wolves. I was actually, part of 7th Marines, an infantry unit. I shouldn't even be there. As a matter of fact, when I checked in, they were telling me I shouldn't even be there because I was a female. But, I said, this is who I am. I was PFC Ponce at the time. This is what you have to work with. But in the 3 years that I was there, I was surrounded by wolves, right? And I was this naive young Latina that I knew that I had to be respectful, and I knew that I had to give it my best shot. Imagine an 18-year-old woman surrounded by high caliber men, infantry men who know what they want. An 18-year-old Latina who's lost in the sauce, but realized, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I have to offer, and I'm here to learn. So one of the most important things I would say, ladies, as you move forward in life and in business, is the ability not only to cultivate sexy confidence, because this will allow you to be authentically yourself, but the ability to develop a growth mindset. And I want to talk about developing a growth mindset, because when you develop a growth mindset, which is something I call a warrior's mindset, it will enable you to bounce back from adversity. It'll enable you to move forward and never give up. It will enable you to lose weight. Okay, so it's so important to cultivate this warrior's mindset. Now, I interject. I want to interject and say that, a warrior's mindset is this growth mindset that enables you to focus on the cure, not the disease. So this ability to cultivate a warrior's mindset is just that, the ability to help you develop a growth mindset, to be open to new ideas, to be open to trying new things, even though they might be scary, even though they might be uncomfortable. Because the moment you step outside your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens, boo. Okay, so it's important for you to cultivate this warrior's mindset. Now, most people, I have to be very direct, most people are developing a fixed mindset. And that's one thing you don't want to develop. You don't want to develop a fixed mindset, because when you develop a fixed mindset, it's like your way or the highway, right? When you develop a fixed mindset, you don't allow yourself to grow. And when you develop a fixed mindset, you actually become like this negative Nancy. So my goal for you is to become the supercharged Sandy. Develop this warrior's mindset that helps you see adversity as your advantage, right? Now, most people would tap out. Most people would give up. Most people would say, okay, I'm done. There's no way, there's no solution to this problem. I'm just going to give up. You are not most people. You are going to find a solution to your problem. You are going to be resourceful. Now, that's the whole goal of this podcast, is to give you that warrior's mindset so you can self-generate these solutions to these problems you're having in life or business. Now, one thing that I want to share with you starting today is to look at these problems not as problems, boo, because I see you. Again, you're hungry for more. You're salivating at the mouth. What you want is to look at this as a challenge, not a problem. Because when you look at it as a challenge, now you're like, how am I going to do this? How can I work around this? Who can help me move forward or get whatever it is that I need to experience the result that I want to see? Now, having said that, sexy confidence, right? Coupled with this warrior's mindset, coupled with this ability to step up and be seen as a leader is what you need in your life and in your business. And when you're able to work on 3 pillars that I'm really passionate about, I'm going to share with you what these 3 pillars are. This is everything. You have more alignment in your life and in your business as a result of incorporating these 3 pillars that I'm going to share with you today. Now, I know I've shared a lot, but I just want to give you like a general information as to what you can expect. But these podcasts that are going to be so good, I promise you, they're going to be educational, they're going to be entertaining, they're going to be empowering and enlightening. They're intended to help you, again, pull the trigger. And these 3 pillars, what are we going to focus on, right? The 3 areas we're going to focus on are as follows. The first one, you have to shape your physique. There's no way around it. You know, a lot of women that I deal with, that I work with, they lack momentum, they lack drive, they lack creativity, even though they're multifaceted. Why? Because they haven't dedicated time to themselves. You need to learn how to shape your physique, how to shape your body, because this is where the energy comes from. This is where the enthusiasm comes from. This is where you become more productive. And when you're more productive, you have the ability to develop fierce focus. The other thing I want to talk about, the second pillar, right? Which is strengthening your mindset. And when you strengthen your mindset, or you develop this warrior's mindset, this is everything, because you have the ability to cultivate the thoughts, the ideas, the goals that you want to manifest. And if you can see it here, I know you're a visionary. I know you can see it here. You have the ability to manifest these amazing goals. I know you have it in you. And when you, more importantly, one of the things that I do, as I help high caliber women entrepreneurs, I give them this self-acceptance radical formula, so to speak. When you wholeheartedly, finally accept yourself for who you are and what you stand for, and I share this with you because there will never be another you. Why not become your best version? Why not step into this woman, this high caliber woman who leads from the front you were destined to become? So the moment you allow yourself to accept yourself, you see yourself differently and everything changes. When you focus on one thing and as a result, give yourself the results you want to achieve, then it gives you the confidence, the evidence that, you know what? I think I do have what it takes to keep going in the Marine Corps. I think I do have what it takes to keep going as a mom. Because I know most of you, some of you might be moms, right? And that task alone is a lot, raising a family. But here you are, also with your business. And this is why I want to, this is one of the many reasons why I've created this podcast, because I have you in mind and I understand the struggles and challenges you face, right? I also have 2 daughters One, my oldest daughter, which she's actually a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and my youngest, who's a student at UCSD here in San Diego. So my daughters are thankfully young, strong, ambitious women, and they're very independent. They're very strong and driven. Thankfully, I don't have little kids anymore, but for those of you that have those little ones and are trying to juggle the business, my hat's off to you. Keep going. You have to keep going. Now, as you move forward in life and business, there's things that you're going to come across that are going to be scary. There's things that you're going to come across that sometimes you're going to stay up all night thinking about it. And you got to be careful because sometimes this leads to anxiety, right? But you have to be responsible for what is happening to you at this moment. You have to be responsible and accept, oh my goodness, these are just fears that I have to face. And because if you don't face those fears, your fears, the more you step away from your fear, the more it grows in your reality. The more you step closer to this fear, the more smaller it gets, the more you minimize its effect. And fears is false evidence appearing real. So take it from a retired Marine officer turned life coach speaker. I want you to pull the trigger, babe. I want you to pull the trigger and face those fears every single day, whether it's in life or business. And these fears are going to come in different ways, and I share this with you because I was married for 15 years and without expecting it, the person that who I thought was my best friend, my soulmate, I love being married to him, right? He was an amazing individual. All of a sudden wanted to get a divorce. And sometimes you don't expect these things to happen. They just happen unexpectedly. And when they happen unexpectedly, and when it breaks your heart, you have to be woman enough to pick yourself up and understand what is happening and keep going. There's going to be things that happen in life and business that are going to possibly deter you. They're going to possibly derail you. They're going to possibly diminish your self-worth. But as a woman who understands you, what you might be going through, I'm here to kindly suggest, I'm here to kindly, lovingly motivate you and say, no, babe, you will not give up. You will get up. You will keep going. You will endure this, as difficult as it may seem, and you will find a way. And when you do this, when you have the courage to get up every single day and face these scary things in life, this is where you're going to grow. Okay? So now, as you move forward, because you're going to move forward and you're going to bounce back and you're going to develop the mental toughness, which is another thing I'm going to help you cultivate. The mental toughness, la dureza mental. Yes, I will include that. I also speak Spanish. So if you keep tuning in, you're also going to learn Spanish with me. La dureza mental para salir adelante, porque es muy importante salir adelante como la mujer que eres, la mujer emprendedora de alto calibre, porque se necesita ahora más que nunca tu liderazgo. Ahora más que nunca se necesita que salgas adelante. Ahora más que nunca se necesita que tú llegues a esas metas. Pero yo te voy a dar las herramientas, la motivación para que sigas adelante. So mental toughness is everything. And the ability to cultivate mental toughness, this beautiful thing we call grit, is everything. Because now you've toughened up. I wouldn't say you've hardened yourself. No way, because you're also feminine. You're also beautiful, but you've really developed the grit, right, to keep going, and you're never going to give up. And mental toughness is the one thing we need to teach others, because you're positively influencing so many people that you have no idea you're influencing every day. So the more you allow yourself to pull the trigger, the more you allow yourself to experience amazing things in life, this is where you're going to experience growth. So having said that, ladies, stay tuned, and gents, because men are also welcomed. Stay tuned, because the following podcast, you have no idea. The women I'm going to bring here, I absolutely love, highly respect, love, admire. I look to them as, as this wealth of information that keep me going. They are success stories. They are women that have influenced so many people and continue to do so. So stay tuned, because the women I'm going to bring are high caliber women entrepreneurs that continue to pull the trigger, that continue to take action so you can take action. And that's what we need more of, right? So if you can see another woman is doing it, you absolutely can do it. You can grow your team. You can delegate tasks. You can grow your leadership skills. You can give those speaking engagements and influence people around the world. Why not now? Why not you? You are, again, destined for greatness. So I want to thank you for watching this entire podcast. If you want to send me any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach me. I'm on Instagram at the Sandra Gonzalez, or you can also send me a question, comment, or concern at my website. You can reach me at sandragonzalez.com. Lastly, the one thing that I want to share with you, I have a women's empowerment retreat in Mexico. I love going to Mexico. I did share that with you earlier today. I'm Mexican American and I love Mexico. So I have a women's empowerment retreat next month, and I have a VIP suite available. So if you're interested in empowerment, if you're interested in developing your leadership skills, if you're interested in collaboration, in connecting with other high caliber women, this women's empowerment retreat is for you. Again, thank you so much for your time. Raise those high caliber standards, pull the trigger every single day, and give it your best shot. Thank you so much.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.